Welcome to another top 5. This week we're doing the top 5 dual discs used by the main characters of each series. So for this list, the dual discs have to be one of the main characters' dual discs and not any spin-offs or altered ones. For example, the Seal of Orichalcos Chaos disc. That is one of the coolest dual discs I know, but it can't be on this list because it's not the main character's main disc, if you get me. That's kind of the criteria for this list. Maybe in the future though, I'll do top 5 dual discs of all time, so yeah, look forward to that. Now, just a quick backstory on the making of this video. This is my second attempt at doing the audio because I made the video and then after watching footage of more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, I learned a bit more about the dual discs. So, I actually had to change my answers. So, let's try this again then, shall we?
Number 5!
In 5th place, I've gone with Yugioh's dual disc from basically the first series. This is one of the first dual discs that was ever made. It has an absolutely brilliant design. I'm not saying the dual disc is bad looking, it's just it has a couple of issues that the other dual discs don't have. And the issue I have with the dual disc is that in the anime, when you use this dual disc, while it doesn't always shown, these sealers flew out of the side of the dual discs to the sides of the dueling arena. And this is what allowed the holograms to be projected. And this seems really dangerous. It's unbelievable. I mean, imagine this thing flying at you, or if it went off by accident somehow. It's just more for like danger, really, this one. That is why this disc is so low. But the dual disc itself, it resembles an arm blade. The central disc includes the deck and graveyard slot, as well as a life point counter. The bottom part of the disc, the part that goes around the user's arm, actually contains a retractable cable that not everyone knows, but you can use to attach yourself to a dueling arena if the other player doesn't want to use a dual disc, for example. Basically, this dual disc accomplishes everything it needs to, so yeah, it's not a bad dual disc, it's the most simple one out of the lot, I guess. So, yeah. 5th place, Yugioh's dual disc.
Number 4!
In 4th place was actually my original 5th place, but I learned a bit more about it, so I'll discuss with you why it's here. This is Yuma Tsukumo's dual disc. I know you're thinking this is 4th, and this is one of the newest dual discs, but the dual discs used in Zexal are called D-pads. It is much smaller than a normal dual disc. The most notable feature of this is it's got multi-function capabilities. Now, I didn't know this. I noticed that they use it in school as like little like computers and stuff. Which is quite cool. It has a new overall design, which is completely different to what it was before. It seems to like lock in together. The colour schemes are quite good. I like that everyone's got a different colour scheme. And it does not have holographic projection, basically. The only reason this can be done is through the dual geyser. And because that the device has to be linked to the dual geyser system for visual effects, that's the reason I've kind of put this dual disc so low. Also, it's got quite a square design, which makes it look a little bit ugly, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion, though. As well, because of the dual geyser to see the projections. This is sort of beneficial and sort of a negative because what it means is that you can only see the dual through your one eye for the dual gaze, and everyone else is like deleted away, so it's just the dual you're focusing on. And it just means that people walking past town have to be distracted by this. So that's quite good economically, I guess, if that's the right word. But it just seems like hassle to me because you need your D-pad, you need this like the wrist mount thing, which doesn't seem to come included with it. And you also need the dual case. That's 3 things you need for a duel, and that's a lot of hassle, to be honest with you. So, because this includes so many accessories needed for it to be used, I'm going to give it 4th place.
Number 3!
In 3rd place is Yusei Fudo's dual disc. This was my original 4th. Basically, this is a modified version of the Battle City dual disc. When connected to his dual runner, it attaches just below the dashboard, and like most of the hybrid dual discs, the deck zone is on the wrist dealer and not in the dual disc itself. So basically, this one's another one of the accessory problem. His dual disc, which is a lot different from other people's dual discs in the series, it doesn't have a deck zone in the actual dual disc itself. He's got to have a wrist thing to keep his deck in. It's kind of bare bones. It doesn't actually like fold away because it's either on his arm ready to duel or it's on his bike, so he doesn't really need it to fold away, but it's kind of an issue without that. Yusei also has a 2-way microphone built into his dual disc. You can see that in episode 61, which is quite cool. So basically the reason this got 3rd is because it was built as a ground duel as 2nd, and as cool as it is attached to his bike, this is just the normal mainstream dual discs, so I can't give it anything higher, even though it looks cool attached to his bike. Sorry, Yusei.
Number 2!
In 2nd place is actually Jaden's Streamline Dual Disc. This is the standard dual disc issued to students of Duel Academy in the Yugioh GX series. Aside from the obligatory alternate folding feature, and a cosmetic refit, the disc functions exactly the same as a standard dual disc. The shift from standby to active mode of this version of the dual disc is much less pronounced than the Battle City variant, only requiring the top section of the card platform to be extended. This makes it much more practical since only the one side has to fold in, and you don't get one on the sides that will always catch on your side like my dual disc used to do back in the day. While the original design is good, its later version in the later seasons, which came in Slifer Red, Obelisk Blue and Raw Yellow versions, really gave the dual disc a really cool edge, and I think a much more personalised dual disc. That is actually what gets it a bit higher on the list, is for its personalisation, which I quite liked. So yeah, second place, Jaden's dual disc.
Number 1.
And in first is the newcomer, which is Yugioh's dual disc. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, the dual discs that are used are similar to a combination of the D-pad and the 5D dual discs. The main body of the disc retains the touchscreen and single spell and trap card zones seen in D-pads, while the monster card zones and pendulum zones are located on the arm blade, which, like the 5D's future discs, is composed of energy and is aligned parallel to the main body of the disc. The blade can actually be customized to be either similar to the Kyber Corp dual disc or a straight parallelogram. It is currently unknown how much it can be customized though. At first glance, it does not project holograms. Instead, it uses a larger solid vision projector. The deck zone is stored within the disc and unfolds when the disc is activated. In addition, players can use the touchscreen to check the contents of their extra deck, which is pretty sick. Bit of technology in there. In Arc 5 Episode 7, a normal duel occurred without the use of solid vision, implying that these dual discs can in fact project holograms by themselves, which is good. The dual disc is notably lighter, enabling duelists to run and jump without difficulties during action duels. Other functions of these dual discs is the ability to check news and information, and as demonstrated by Yuzu in episode 14 and by Masumi in episode 21, it actually has the ability to be used as a cell phone. Brilliant. So because of all these extras, the fact that it's able to have solid vision projection as well, that everything's included, it's got touchscreen, it's a bit like an iPhone kind of. I'm going to have, well, it's more like an iPad actually. I'm going to have to give this number 1 position. These were all my personal choice, so whatever you thought was your choice, just let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed my list. Don't forget to leave a like, favourite and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching.